so limitless.
Hey lovelies, it's your girl Charnel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you guys some wedding tips. Our wedding is fast approaching and I am so excited. We decided not to use a wedding planner just because we decided we wanted to use those thousands of dollars that we would have put towards a wedding planner to actually go towards our honeymoon. And on top of that, we are going to have a coordinator the day of our actual wedding, but we just didn't need someone to help us plan, considering that we had a whole 2 years, or we have a whole 2 years to plan our wedding. So I'm going to first tell you guys that I actually have a blog, www.osolimitless.com, if you guys don't already know. On that blog, I have documented so far the journey that we've been on for wedding planning. So I give you guys wedding planning tips, everything about wedding dress shopping, all that kind of stuff, feedback in terms of like price ranges if you're looking for a photographer, videographer, and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys could go ahead and go check out that website of mine. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys click that subscribe button to get regular videos from me. And if you like this kind of video, give this video a thumbs up, comment below, let me know what kind of tips, what other tips that you guys may be interested in knowing about. And yeah, all that good stuff. Ask any questions down below, and if you have any video suggestions, then let me know too. Okay, so I'm going to first start off by telling you guys all of the tools and resources that I actually use to help me plan this wedding. So I use some books, and I'm going to share those exact books with you guys here in this video, and also include a direct link to those books and resources down below. So I use books. I use resources that I found from, I only went to one wedding show, so from a wedding show that I went to when I initially got engaged. I use Google Drive, I use Pinterest, and I also use information that I received from open houses that I went to for vendors or venues. Okay, so the first thing I did when I got engaged was purchase a book. And the book that I purchased is called The Wedding Book by Mindy Weiss. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. And this book literally is your wedding planner for you. Now, in this book, it literally tells you, it's an expert's guide to planning your perfect day your way. So it tells you traditional things to do. It tells you all about ways that you can go about announcing the fact that you guys have been engaged. It literally walks you through the whole process in this book. It also tells you about different kinds of trains. I don't know if you guys could see it in the footage, but it tells you about different types of trains that you have on your dress. It literally gives you so much information. And I'm a person that really loves to read and learn things through actual books and reading through things. It also tells you about things such as like booking a photographer, for example, and asking the right questions. Contract outline, so you guys know what information should also be included in a contract. It tells you about the cost of certain things, the tip amount that you should be giving certain people. Talks about cufflinks, printing methods, how you should outline your invitation, and it gives you a whole bunch of different options based on your preferences, your price range, and what you actually want for your wedding. Now, it also, I'm not sure if it tells you, because I didn't go through the whole book as of yet, but I'm not sure if it tells you specific details if you were to have a destination wedding, but I do have another resource which I'll share with you guys if you guys are actually planning on having a destination wedding. But this book, honestly, has been such a lifesaver. It really helped me get started in the direction that I really wanted to go into, because not really having many friends who've gotten married or been through the experience, or not necessarily having the same budget with those friends, it has been a challenge just trying to figure out what I want to do and where I want to go. So this has been honestly a lifesaver. I'm not sure if there's anything else. Oh, there's actually another thing that I want to tell you about. This book actually at the back, it gives you different wedding planning timelines. So if you have a 1-year wedding, if you're engaged for a year, it gives you a timeline for 12 months. If you're engaged for 6 months, it gives you a timeline for 6 months. And it tells you every single thing that you need to do in these months based on priorities. And so 8 weeks before your wedding, it tells you exactly what you should have done within those 8 weeks. So this has been really, really helpful in terms of breaking down what I really need to get accomplished, and the tasks that I allocate to my bridesmaids or groomsmen or my fiance, so that we can all be on the same page and be on top of things on time. And this way, with this timeline, I honestly will not forget anything. Like, they have everything in here. It even tells you about what you need in an emergency kit, for example. So that's pretty cool. And if you want to make notes in the back, you can do that. It also gives you the option to write down companies that you're interested in. For example, for transportation companies, the different companies you're interested in, their numbers and all that information, rental checklist, all that good stuff. So this is such an amazing resource, and I highly, 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 highly recommend this book, especially if you don't have a wedding planner. Even if you do have a wedding planner, it's always good just to know, because sometimes you never really know if that wedding planner has enough experience, depending on who you go with, or if they might miss out on something, because sometimes, like, there's human error. So this book is really, really awesome. Highly recommend it. Then the second book I got engaged July 9th of 2017, and my maid of honor and one of my bridesmaids, my two closest girlfriends that I absolutely love, they gave me this book. It's called The Knot Ultimate Wedding Planner and Organizer. So they gave me this book literally 11 days after for my birthday. I guess they were all just so excited, like I was, that I got engaged. And this book has been helpful in terms of, like, at the front, sorry, it's hard for me to hold it. At the front, it gives you like options about the different color schemes you could go with. It has different tabs, so it has color inspiration, timeline and budget, guest list invitations, venue and menu, dress and accessories. So it's relatively similar to this book. However, it's more like basic. This book is literally to plan and organize everything. This book is really informative. This book is just planning and writing all that stuff down so you have it all in one place. So, for example, getting started, and so it tells you top wedding planning tips. It says make a statement, pick your battles, study up. All that information is all here. They give you image pictures as well. And in this book, it also has a checklist. So what I did to make my own checklist, I cross-list this checklist as well as the checklist from that book to ensure I had every single thing down in my checklist, and that's what I've been using to stay on top of things that I need to be done for the wedding. But yeah, this book is mainly so you could write everything and have it all done in one place. So what I personally use this book for, because you could tell that I haven't really written in it, because I've been using Google Drive a lot, I cut out a lot of magazine pictures for inspiration. And unfortunately, it's in my agenda at my workplace, but I have literally like different color backdrops, and I cut out, let's say, my floral designs, the florals that I really like. I put all the different designs or similar pictures all together on one page and put floral on top so that I really know what I want when I show it, or like I could really express what I want when I talk to vendors. So if I actually am able to get that before I edit this video, I'll include it in this video somewhere. So another thing about this book is at the back, it has a section for you to have put all your cards from vendors. So I have different cards here. And it's really good to keep on some cards because, for example, like this person, they have 10% off. So the fact that I could show them this when I go to them to use their service is really good, and I always have a spot to hold them. And I also have all my contracts in this area as well. So everything that we've signed, all the contracts that are not necessarily on a computer in my drive, I have stored in this wedding planning organizer. And whenever my bridesmaid has come over, or my maid of honor has come over, she's like, okay. She opens this up and she's like, okay, so what do we have to do next? And she's like, so awesome. I absolutely love her. But this is, yeah, helpful if you really like to write things down. I just found it easier to use Google Drive to organize everything, only because I could be at work, I could be meeting with a vendor, I could be at home and use my phone, and everything's on access like at the finger of my tips. I can answer any questions because all my information is on Google Drive. So I found that helpful. And in order to have a Google Drive account, you have to have a Gmail account, just so that you guys know. That's also where I have my wedding budget. I use a Google Excel document on my Google Drive, and I input all my information, what we've spent so far, all that good stuff. So there's one other book that I've used, and I only bought this because I got that wedding planning organizer. It's just The Knot. It's a complete guide to weddings, and I purchased this just so it could go along with that organizer. But again, because I already had the initial one, I really didn't need this. I think I was just being extra. But they have some pictures in here as well, and yeah, I haven't really used this one as much, again, because it's really similar, but I don't know, I like having books, so why not? And then with this book as well, I don't think there's anything that's really different, but I know with the Knot, if you are planning on having a destination wedding, they do have a separate book specifically for those individuals who are planning on having a destination wedding. So you could definitely use that tool. And another thing that I've been using just so I can get inspiration is Pinterest. I found Instagram to be very, very overwhelming, so I actually had to unfollow a bunch of wedding Instagram accounts. And I think it's because what we see on Instagram especially is so elaborate, so over the top, and just extreme. And for me, it isn't necessary to be the top of top, like with certain decor and all that good stuff. I just want us to have a good time, and as well, like, I would rather invest money into like the honeymoon, for example. Not to say we're not investing a lot of money into our wedding, because we are, but just the things that I see on Instagram specifically is just like, ugh, too much. Like, you know, like, it's just like, this is not really what everyday people do, and I'm an everyday person, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I had to get rid of that, because I think that I had to unfollow those accounts because they were really discouraging. But after I got more of a vision of what I really wanted, I was able to follow some back, so that at least I knew like what I could take pieces away, inspiration from them. But my main source of inspiration, definitely outside of these books, has been Pinterest. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure that the first thing that you do outside of informing people that you've been engaged is have a budget. And once you have a budget, it's very helpful in determining who you're going to reach out to when getting help, or who you're going to reach out to when looking for vendors or certain photographers, all that stuff. So you just have to make sure that you have a budget, and from there work your way out. And again, these resources that I've shared with you have been really, really helpful for me. Pinterest also, if you don't want to invest in any books, Pinterest has a lot of different things you could type in on Google or Pinterest, certain keywords that you want to look for, and it could help you give you options as well. There's a lot of blog pages, including mine, that give you a lot of different tips and tools to help you plan your wedding without a wedding planner, if that's the route you choose to go with. So as I mentioned, we will be having a wedding coordinator, or someone to coordinate our wedding the day of, so that everything's run smoothly and no one is actually like bothering my fiance or our family, our direct family. And so on that day, I'll have literally a walkthrough of all the details that needs to be done. So from like 6 o'clock in the morning to 6:15, where everyone needs to be, all that good stuff. And this book, I believe the Knot book tells you as well, this actually has like a timeline for you. So it tells you how you can plan everything. It tells you what time your ceremony could be if you have a night wedding, or any of that stuff. Like, it's so informative. I absolutely love this. Like, look in the description box below. I'll give you a direct link to it. Like, this is just super bomb. But yeah, so I hope that this video has been really helpful for you guys. Those are the tools and resources, as I mentioned, that I've been using. And another thing that's been really helpful is just allocating tasks. So for example, Babe and I, we've dealt with like the major things. So he deals with the groomsmen suits. He's dealt with finding the correct invitations that we want. He's dealt with transportation, and I've done other things as well. But he's always been a part of any meetings that I've had, so like with florists, all that good stuff. And yeah, so it's been really, really good. I'm really, really happy. I love how everything's going so well. The planning process has actually been really fun once all my stress has been like lifted off my shoulder. I have more downtime. And so yeah, so I would also recommend that if you guys do have more of a crunch period or a shorter limit of how long you have to plan your wedding, I would recommend that you guys set up certain days and times that you meet together with your fiance, you and your fiance, that you guys meet and actually work on your wedding. Because I find that it could be really stressful if all you're talking about is your wedding, or talking about finances, all that good stuff. You still want to enjoy each other while you're planning for your wedding, and you still want it to be a really fun and enjoyable process. So with Babe and I, every Sunday we would sit down together and work on our wedding, knock out anything that we could do on the computer, or email people if we want to set up an appointment with them, and we would do that for 2 hours for every Sunday. Now we've actually fallen off that routine just because we got a lot of the major stuff out of the way. But now that we do have smaller things remaining, we should really get back into it. So I'm going to make a plan actually after this video so that we can make sure that we're still on track with everything that we need to do or plan to do by this date. And yeah, so it's February, March, April, May, June, July. Literally like just over 6 months until our wedding. Like, I am super amped. Like, this thing is happening like just now. Time flies by so fast. So I know it's really happening. We booked our bachelorette trip. Unfortunately, the guys haven't figured that stuff out yet because you know what? I'm not gonna say anything about guys. We booked our bachelorette trip, so we going out. I'm excited. That's how you guys are going later. We booked our honeymoon and all that good stuff. So anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. Hopefully this video has been really helpful for you guys. If you have any questions or want to know more about a certain thing or a certain area of planning, you can check out my website, www.osolimitless.com, or leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer your questions as best as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.